A B2B service-based business owner, and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact, and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. If you have ever thought about wanting to serve a high-ticket client or offering high-ticket services in your business, you're going to want to listen to this episode because we're going to talk about the 3 core foundations you need to understand in order to succeed in this competitive marketplace. This is Amplify Your Marketing Message, and I am your host, Campbell Rapin. I help creative service-based businesses create more income, more impact, and serve at the very highest level to create predictable results in their business. And many of my clients do work around high-ticket clients and incorporate high-ticket service programs into their product offering. And if you are wondering how to play here, this is an important episode. We're going to take you through the mindset and how to position yourself as credible to this particular audience. High-ticket clients are those clients that are going to invest more than $1,000 or more into your programs and services. And it doesn't matter whether it's $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, or even $100,000. Clients who put that level of money into your programs and services have different expectations. And understanding those expectations and how to live up and exceed them creates long-term success and builds your reputation in the marketplace. Let's take a look at the 3 foundations. The first people question I meet all the time is, where do I find them? How do I serve them? And how do I retain them? And so that's what we're going to take you through today on this episode. The first thing to understand is the different psychology of commitment level with a high-ticket client and how you can serve it. High-ticket clients have already investigated the inexpensive options and come to the conclusion that they did not move the needle, they did not create the results, or they didn't handle the practicalities of implementation. And so while they've gone that route, they have not achieved the result they want. And high-ticket clients are not interested in anything except for the result that they sought and a great experience along the way. And you must be able to deliver on both of those key foundations in order to see great long-term reputation and profitability build in your business. So let's talk about what those expectations are. A high-ticket client is looking for a guided way, predictable results over a shorter period of time than their next best alternative. And so you want to start the conversation about how to market to these people by clearly understanding what result do they seek? Why is it valuable to them? What are the consequences and benefits of achieving that result? And most importantly, why is this a priority? Because I said their priority level is exceedingly high if they're going to put $1,000 or more into your pocket to get your assistance to achieve the result. And so knowing those 4 things is the precursor to any great marketing plan, any great business sales process, and any great service delivery. Understanding those 4 things is essential. And I will tell you right now, please don't guess, because guessing will help you get nowhere. You need to know this and you need to ask this. And as I work in my own business with high-ticket clients, that's the only client I serve, I'm always asking, what do you want? Why does that matter? What will the consequences and benefits be of this result for you personally? And why now? And we need to have that conversation before I make the offer. And we often have it multiple times during service delivery to ensure that I am meeting and exceeding those expectations, because it has long-term ripples for my clients and for my business. And so start there is my first tip of this episode. Understand what is the genesis and the movement piece from your client's perspective. The second thing that a client is doing, remember, is evaluating whether you are the must hire when they are putting quite a lot of skin in the game. In order for you to be a yes, I see her as the must hire, you need to ensure that you walk your talk. And this is a really important one. I see a lot of incongruency in the marketplace, but if you're expecting somebody to spend thousands of dollars with you in your business, they have 100% the question in their mind that says, are you doing that? If they can't see it and believe it that the answer is yes, they're going to say, she walks a good game, but I'll look for someone else. So it's important to recognize if you want to play in high ticket, you should be a high ticket client for somebody else. And in this case, for me, I always say to my clients, don't hire a coach who doesn't already have a mentor or is part of a growth place, whether that is a mastermind, programs, or other things, because there's a disingenuous element that starts to erode trust. So first off, understand what drives them. Second thing, realize they're looking to see whether those are the things that drive you, because like seeks out like. And if they are not viewing you as a like comparable peer who may be a couple chapters ahead, they won't see you as a viable option. And that's the first piece of the puzzle you need to tackle. Once you've kind of thought through that broad picture and you've got into integrity with it, and you say, yes, this is who I am. Yes, this is how I want to serve. And yes, that is who I want to attract. There are three elements you need to be working on: where to find them, how to serve them, and how to retain them. The first thing is to recognize that you need to think about where will you find them. The most important thing I said about a high ticket client is somebody who's already made a significant investment and commitment to the result they seek. So you want to be in places where they are seeking a shortcut, a shorter path, and somebody who is really clearly able to go beyond the theory into the result. And not only just the result, but the results predictably in a shorter period of time, because that's value creation. And so I would say if you are using strategies like networking or speaking or other types of things like I do in my business, they're going to be in the rooms they paid to be in. They're not going to be in the free events, because the free events are about the theory and they've played there, but they didn't get the results. So they've already said, great, got the t-shirt, know the stuff, but I can't implement it. Where do I go where the people who have already made maybe more progress than me, who have skin in the game, are seeing results? Because while that room might be a little scary and a little intimidating, I know if I want to get the result, I need to be there. So if that's their mentality, I would say be in the room they paid to be in. And you can be in the room from an audience perspective, you can be from a sponsorship perspective, and you can, of course, be curating that room yourself. Lots of different strategies to get there, but think about the fact that they are committing dollars to the solution. And your goal is to be in that room and spark curiosity and turn awareness to you that you might be a potential resource, a potential guide to getting that result. Because it's really important to recognize here, they're not paying for the price of admission simply to be in the room. They're paying for the price of admission to get the result. So you need to be really clear that you are not paid for your time. You are paid to guide them to the result predictably. And so when you're in the room, there's a couple of really important things to think about. And we have other episodes here in the podcast that will help you. Amy Lockett had talked about creating a visual setting that feels like who you want to serve. So think about your background, think about your wardrobe, think about Katie Watford and her episode as well. How do you physically show up as the woman on the vision board that attracts a high-paying client? Your hair, your makeup, your wardrobe are all important factors, because they are looking at, are you somebody who is investing in their own personal growth? Are you investing in the business? Are you a professional? We also talked with Ashlyn Glazier Anderson, who talked about, do you show up with a professional website and an email address, or are you a fly-by-night Gmail business? All of those first impressions matter. And that's why we've covered them here on Amplify Your Marketing Message. So if you haven't watched those episodes, go back and find them and take the time to listen, because they are determining if you are credible, if you are likable, if you are someone who is someone they will invest in, And remember, when somebody does choose to invest in your programs and services, especially at a high ticket level, they are saying, I trust you and I borrow your confidence that you know where you're going. And I'm prepared to put money in your pocket for you to help me figure the path out to get there too. And so understanding how that first impression matters is so critically important. Go where they are, make sure you are seen as credible in their eyes, and curate the next step. So when you are moving them to the next step, which is the second key question you need to do, like how do you serve them? It is so important to recognize that the client journey is more than just the service delivery. It is everything from the first event that they see you at. It involves the email communication you go out, your client onboarding process, how you show up to your commitments to them, the delivery actually of your programs and services, and of course, overarching all of that first impression is, do you show up as a person who cares about them? They paid high dollars to spend time with you. And it doesn't matter whether they are in a group program, a pre-written course, self-directed, or a high-ticket one-to-one program. They have paid to be in your ecosystem, and they are expecting you to care. And it should be a given that you do. But show up and think about how can you care and how can you create a great experience. Another great episode I want to reference here today is the one where we talked with Deborah, and we talked about client gifting and how important it is to care, say thank you, listen intentionally, and know what's going on in their lives so that you can help them create the results, because the best plan will still hit speed bumps, will still have problems on the delivery, and you need to be guiding your client, caring for your client, being human to your client. And this is a really, really important element at that higher level of commitment that a high ticket client has made and you have made as well. So I want you to be thinking about service as not just the execution of the course, the group, or the one-to-one. It is about the whole experience. And the most important thing is, please care. Caring is a superpower in the service world. It is an essential element at high ticket. And that can mean you need to think about your capacity. I know in my own business, I only ever take up to 20 clients on a one-to-one basis so that they are cared for and that they have access to me whenever they have a problem and in the scheduled time we have together. I think about how and what is going on in their lives. I think about how I can lift them, care for them, and support them. And I do that not just for clients who paid for me, but past clients, potential clients, peers, and just people I think are doing awesome things in this planet. So be aware that you have to create that environment. It is up to you to deliver it as well. And that is something that you must think through in a much broader context if you really want to create big ripples into the momentum of your audience building piece and helping more high ticket buyers find and want to work with you. The final piece of the puzzle, of course, is how to retain them, because it is true, and you've heard this probably in the world of business before, but a client who has already said yes is the most valuable piece of your business. And it is less expensive to retain a client than to find and curate a new relationship that becomes a yes client in your business. And so I will tell you, one of the things that makes my business run is I am always thinking about, how do I deliver more value? I'm not thinking about how do I add more capacity. I'm thinking about how do I create more value for my current clients, for my past clients, and for my future clients. And how do I do that? Well, I ask my clients about those questions that we had right at the beginning. Where do you want to go? Why does that matter? What will the spillover effects be? And why is that a priority? And I'm constantly anticipating what we could do next to get them further along the journey. My measure of success with my clients is that I'm there to help be a thinking partner as your business continues to evolve. What questions do you need on the table, and how can we brainstorm them together, creating value so that you have the confidence to go after it, to be positioned as the must hire, and to see the results in your business predictably? I am always thinking about how I can create value. And that means intentional action on my part. I'm thinking about what lights them up beyond the business. What doors can I open? What in my network can I leverage to help smooth the path? And I'm also thinking and advising my clients, now that we have a solid foundation, here's where the wrinkles start to fall off. Here's where you might anticipate some choppy water. And when you do, this is how I would guide you through it. So if it happens, come back and we'll talk about it. I am always thinking about value creation. And that means that one thing I heard in my business just in the last week was from a current client who had been a past client who has come back into my business. I genuinely feel you care. And I'm in another mastermind as well. And in that other mastermind, which is a group program, I feel like a number. I feel like they got my money and they don't care about the results. Every time I spend time with you, Christine, I know you care. And I know you fight for me. And I know you challenge me openly because you see what potential lies. And I need that. And I will pay for it. Christine, I want to retain and I want to renew my contract when it comes up, which isn't even today, because they are seeing that care, collaboration, and compassion that we bring to the table. So if you want to be seeing retained clients, the thing you want to constantly be thinking about is, how do I create more value? What doors can I open? How can I show up and support them with a genuine love to see them succeed? The other component of this is saying to your retained clients, before you are in the place that the contract has expired, what happens next? Have that open conversation. And if you have capacity, you should be genuinely going to your clients and saying, who else do you know in your network who might value my services? And tell them what your capacity is so that they can have one of their good friends in your ecosystem. I always say to my clients throughout the experience of working with me, I'm checking the halt rate. I'm checking in the pulse of the business. Am I providing value? Am I meeting or exceeding your expectations? And if there is any short sight or unequivocal yes, I am addressing it. I'm taking corrective action. And because of that, clients say, I get an amazing experience in your ecosystem. And that leads to referrals, testimonials, social proof, and an incredible flow of new business. And so working with high ticket clients is not for everybody. It is about high expectations. It is about delivering and exceeding against high expectations. It is about not thinking about volume, but thinking about value and ensuring that when you make an offer for a high ticket client, you understand what's driving them. You make sure you can show up and respond to support the growth journey to get them that result. Because people do not pay for your time. They pay for the result. And when they are spending more dollars, they're saying, I trust you to guide me to help you get it. And I believe that you're the person I can create safe spaces with to learn how to do that for myself. And so high tickets can be a fun part of your business. I wouldn't do it in my business any other way. I tell people really candidly, you can't find a $9 thing and end up as a client of mine one-to-one. If you are curious about what it's like to work with me, I invite you to explore my website, ChristineCampbellRapin.com. You'll find the one-to-one coaching options, and that is high touch, high ticket, high impact, high results. It is where I leave nobody behind. I am 100% there to support you. You can also, of course, find out what it's been like for my other clients to work with me. And if you ever want to ask them, I'd be happy to provide an introduction. High ticket clients can be a growth accelerator to your business, but you need to understand what their expectations are. You need to understand how to raise to meet them. And you need to ensure that it is the right business model for you. If it is, and you need some help laying the foundations to find the audience, to provide movement so that you can go from curiosity to paid client, and you want to know what value to create in an offer that gets a high ticket client saying yes, and position yourself as the must hire, come and have a conversation with me. Hope you found this episode valuable. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you all on our next episode. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.